So we are in a little over 5,000 years. So the Govardhan is still there. Like we have seen in Vrindavan, the Krishna Balaram tree, in Raman Reddy, where Krishna Balaram used to play, and the sand is very, very soft, very fine sand. But that tree is not there anymore. When I visited in 1979 or 1980 and subsequent years, it was still there. But then after not been there for some years, I went, it was gone. There's two branches of tree coming out. One is whitish and one is black, representing Krishna and Balaram. There's a similar tree in Navadvip. There's Mayapur, where the Chankasi place. This area, the whole area, are inhabited by Muslims. But within that, there's a shrine that they will not touch. That it shrines the tree. One representing Chankasi, and the other three representing Chiranjiva Prabhu. And it's still, even the Muslim respect it. They will be there trying to do seva and collect some donation. Right? So, and of course, we hear about Krishna lifting Govardhan Hill, but Krishna was not the first one after this incident. He was not the first one to lift up Govardhan Hill after he decided to stay in Vrindavan. In the Adivara Purana, that describing about Ramayana, the pastimes of Ramchandra, that when Ramchandra and the monkey soldiers, army of monkeys, and they were trying to build a bridge to Lanka, so they were throwing rocks, and by writing the name of Ram on the rock will float. And they were running out of rocks, so they sent Hanuman to look for more rocks. Because when Hanuman look for rocks, he don't look for just rocks. He will bring mountain and bring out the whole hill. So he flew over Vrindavan and saw Govardhan. And he picked up Govardhan and picked him up and was going to bring him back. And on the way back, he got the transcendental sound message that we don't need any more rocks. The bridge is completed. So Hanuman decided to bring Govardhan back to Vrindavan. And as he was bringing Govardhan back to Vrindavan, you could see that Govardhan was crying. He was very sad. So when he put Govardhan back down in Vrindavan, he asked, "Why are you so sad? Now I'm not taking you, I'm putting you back where you belong. Why are you sad?" He said, "Now I missed the opportunity to offer service to Lord Ram. By returning me back to Raj, I miss the opportunity to serve Ram in his Leela of building this bridge." So this message got to Ram, and Ram sent a message and promised Govardhan, "You may miss my pastime this time, but when I appear of Krishna, I'll perform many pastimes on your hill." So that's a special position of Govardhan. So when Krishna appeared as a cowboy 5,000 years ago, every day he would take the calf. When he was young, he and his friend would be taking care of the calf. When he was older, then the older boys would take care of the grown-up cows. So every day they would go to the forest. They would go to Govardhan, and Govardhan provide so much grass and leaf to feed all the cows. And Krishna performed so many pastimes there in that. So one day he was observing that his father was performing some yajna, sacrifice, some religious ceremony. So he approached his father. He said, "My dear father, I haven't sent it to you. Can you put it up? I forgot to send it to you. Sorry, give me a minute." Okay. See? Now it's just AI generated very short video, 1 minute video that my newly created social media team has made. It's just a test run. We are starting to do social media preaching, video log, and all this kind of thing. Yeah. Got it? Yeah, it's there. Oh, it's not been sent yet. The line is bad. Anyway. So, yeah. He was asking his father, what are you? He said, we are cowherd men, and the cows depend on the grass and the harvest. So, and the rain comes from Indra. So this springtime after harvesting, even in India, even in China, the ancient tradition, they have this festival where they worship the gods, to give thanks for a good harvest, especially the farmer community. In fact, in China, just last week, 2 weeks ago, we celebrated the Mid-Autumn Festival, which is actually the giving thanks for a good harvest. So, and he explains that because we depending on the rain comes from Indra. So we are performing this Indra Puja to please him. But Krishna started preaching to his father. That is not necessary. You just perform your activity, you perform your duty. The demigods have no choice but to grant you all these things. You don't have to separately worship. Basically, I was preaching karma mimamsa for philosophy. You do something, then you're due the result without extra worship. So, because Krishna can be very persuasive, and so Nanda Maharaj agreed. He said, okay, let us perform this Indra Puja first, and then we'll do the other puja. Because Krishna said, actually for us, Govardhan is more important. Because Govardhan provide all the grass and all leaf for our cows. So they give us milk. We should worship Govardhan. So Nanda Maharaj said, okay, let us perform this ceremony first for Indra, and then after that we can do for Govardhan. And Krishna said, no. He said, to organize such a festival take time. Why don't you just use all this, everything that you prepared, and instead of worshiping Indra, you worship Govardhan. And so Nanda Maharaj and the cow men, they all agreed. And then started making preparation to worship Govardhan. And Krishna assumed the form of Govardhan, the huge form of Govardhan, just to give confidence to the inhabitants of Vrindavan. And whatever offering they were making to Govardhan just eating them up, receiving them. Huge form. And after this ceremony, of course, Indra been denied his offering. He became very angry. He said, who is this impudent boy? Telling the inhabitants not to worship me. And who are these foolish inhabitants of Vrindavan? They're listening to this young boy and follow his advice. I'm going to teach them a lesson. But the lesson he was going to teach was beyond sometimes when you commit an offense, you punish according to the offense. Just like in the court, if you're found guilty of something, you are given a sentence according. But this was just a neglect of worship of him, while he went all whole 9 yard. He called the Samataka clouds. These clouds are summoned at the end, the time of devastation, where the universe become inundated with water and flooded. That's like the end of time. So he called the Samataka cloud, And instead, you go over to Vrindavan and you release your rainfall. And those rainfall, you have never seen anything like that in Denmark. I'm not even sure you get that kind of rain in India. But in Malaysia, when we get rain, it is heavy rain. It's like someone opened the sky and they're throwing buckets at you, pouring buckets of rain down. Heavy, heavy rain coming down, But it don't last long. Normally just 20 minutes, half an hour, heavy downfall, and then it stop. Here, it drags on and on and on. A few drops, and drags on sometimes the whole day. But this rain in Malaysia is nothing compared to the Samataka cloud. It is described in the Krishna book, in the Bhagavatam, that the rain are coming down like pillars coming down. Heavy, heavy torrential rain was coming down. So when the rains are coming over and down, and all the inhabitants were distressed by the heavy rain and running here and there for shelter. And when the devotees, when they're in distress, who did they turn to? They turn to Krishna. They forget that Krishna is just a little boy. They just, Krishna, Krishna, help, help. And because they were calling for Krishna for help, immediately Krishna appeared. And he picked up the Govardhan. And it's described that Krishna picked up the Govardhan just like a child pick up a mushroom. No problem, just pick it up. No, not even great effort. And he picked it up and he told all the inhabitants, okay, you come under. And this way, although the rain was going on, everything was getting wet, but those who were under the shelter of Govardhan Hill, they will remain dry. They were protected. So in this way, Krishna held up the Govardhan Hill with his left little pinky. He didn't even need the whole hand. He just little pinky and lifted it up for 7 days, 7 nights. So sometimes someone may claim, I'm God. I'm avatar. I'm incarnation. It's can you pick up Govardhan Hill? Not even just Govardhan Hill. Pick up with one hand on this table. And lift it up. They cannot even lift it up for 7 minutes. What to say of 7 days a night? I attended one kind of self-development seminar once on the weekend. One of the tests they asked us to do is like a mental test. So all we need to do is just put out our hand like that. We were not holding anything. We were not lifting anything. Holding out. After 30 seconds, you start to get tired. After 1 minute, the hand I feel like leads. And then for 2 minutes, I'm holding a 20-kilo dumbbell. Just like that. Right? So they cannot even do that for 7 minutes. What to say of lifting a hill for 7 days a night? So Krishna did that. And the other lesson we can learn is how, and it's described in the 7th canto by Prahlad Maharaj, Durashaya Yabahi Atamanina, where he said that normally people, they take forced shelter. They go under forced shelter. Right? And Shukadev Goswami also explained that in the 2nd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in his initial answer to Maharaj Parishik. Because Maharaj Parishik, he was cursed to die within 7 days. And his question that he wanted to ask, when someone is about to die, so many things cross our mind. And most people say, I have to take care of my will, I have to pass on my business, my bank account, everything to my wife or my children or whatever. But Maharaj Parishik just gave up everything. He only have 3 questions. What is the duty of someone who is about to die? What should he hear? What should he chant? And what should he remember? These were 3 questions. And Shukadeva Goswami replied to him that your question is glorious, because answer to this question is not only beneficial for you, but it's beneficial for everyone who hears the answer. And he went on to say that generally people are not interested in topics like that. They're just too busy with their work, with their family life. Daytime, they engage in work. Nighttime, they engage in sexual activities. That's what general people do. And Deyapata Kalatradish Atma Sanyasa Satapi, Desam Pramata Nidanam Pashana Pina Pashati. And they take shelter of false shelter. They take shelter of their body, especially anyone go to the gym? You go gym? Anyone else go to gym? You look like a gym body. Right? And you go to a gym, sometimes what do you see? You see these guys. Sometimes now ladies also doing that. They do the dumbbell, they do the bell, and then they go in front of the mirror. You know, doing so many things like that. I remember one time many years back when we were in Fredericksburg, one sunny day, I decided to take a few brahmachari to the zoo. We went for a japa walk in the zoo. And then we came to this cage where the gorillas were. We were looking, and then the gorilla came out. And then one of brahmachari started laughing like anything, legit. He started laughing. I said, what's so funny? He said, why are you laughing so much? He said, it just reminds me of the gym guys. Because he said, I used to go to the gym and people all do like that in front of the mirror. So he took care of the body. I remember a long time ago when I was still working in Malaysia before I came to Europe. In the newspaper, a burglar came to the house to rob. And it turned out that that guy was like 7 or 8 Dan karate master. They practiced like a grandmaster. Spent decades training. And he saw the burglar and he's going, ah! And the burglar, one shot, he was finished. Right? So that's our body. We take care of the husband and wife. We take shelter of husband and wife. We take shelter of bank balance, our job, our business, our relatives, our children. So many things we take shelter of. But they are known as fallible soldiers. When it comes to fight, they're all falling over like dominoes. When I first came to Germany in 1976, I was a bad boy. Used to go clubbing. And on the weekend, you see all the GI, American soldiers, will come. They have the leave. And practically all of them were drunk or high on drugs. And I was thinking, and we are relying on these guys to protect Western Europe against the Warsaw Pact. When the Warsaw Pact attacked, this guy don't even know where the guns are pointing. No. So they are fallible soldiers. Externally, they look good. I have a big bank balance. My body is so strong. My brother just sent a message in our family group. This guy, young guy, fit, very fit, expecting his 3rd child, probably in the 40s or something, but very fit, always good, always exercising, diet. And he died with a heart attack while playing badminton. Never know. So therefore I said, but even though they are fallible soldiers, we become attached to them. We become attached. And that attachment blinds us from the truth. So much so that we see death, we are facing death at every moment. And yet we don't see. This is one of the very common questions that new devotees sometimes ask. I was asking this question when I was very new. It's, I can understand the philosophy very well. When I listen to lecture, I read the book, it makes so much sense. But when I tell my friend, they were like, they're like, blur, what are you talking about? They cannot figure out what you're talking about. They just don't see because of this attachment. This attachment blinds them from seeing reality. So all these are durashaya, false shelter. It's just like you're going out in the rain, umbrella. He said durashaya yehi atmanina. It's only in the mind we are having shelter. When you go out in the rain and you say, don't worry, I have an umbrella in my mind, you're going to get wet. So all of us are guilty of that. We laugh, but we laugh. Why? Because we can see it. We understand. Yes, it's so true. That's why we're laughing. So these are all false shelter. But you see the inhabitants, they're actually under the shelter of the umbrella of the Govardhan. So they were protected. But those who are outside, we don't. So therefore we say, do you take shelter of Krishna? We go under the protection of Krishna, then we are protected. We are protected by the umbrella of Krishna, whereby we will not be affected by the most of material nature. But if we are not fully in the shelter, we will be affected. If we are halfway in, halfway out, then we'll get wet, and that wet eventually spread to the rest of the body. Isn't it so when your umbrella, sometimes, I give most of the umbrella to my kids, and you send half. But eventually whole body get wet. So it's not a question of half. So we take shelter of Krishna fully, or we get wet. So the inhabitants that took shelter of Krishna under the umbrella, and they were protected for 7 days. So even the most devastating rain was falling on Vrindavan, they were not affected by it. Until the Samataka, they got exhausted. They all got exhausted, went back and said, we couldn't do anything. We tried our very best. We have used all our energy. We cannot. Then Indra realized that he was playing with fire. That the impotent boy that he thought was impotent, is probably none other than his master. So after all this over, Indra was watching. When Krishna was in a secluded place, he got down from his elephant carrier, and he bowed down and offered his obeisances to Krishna and begged for forgiveness. This is what happens sometimes when someone has power. That's why they say, power corrupt, absolute power corrupt absolutely. So when someone has power, someone has position, then you get into the head, and we become arrogant. We want to become proud, want to become arrogant. Therefore, devotees do not expire. Like I mentioned the other day, Chaitanya Prabhu is in his prayer said, I do not want wealth. I do not want beautiful wife. I do not want followers. I don't want anything. I just want to be a servant. I just want to be a servant of the servants of the servant. Gopi Batu Kamalayo Dasa Dasa Nudasa. I just want to become the servant of the servant of the servant 100 times. I'm not even qualified to be a servant. I can only be the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. And that's when I read that, this what came to my mind. I said, actually, I need to collect a little bit of mercy from everyone. A little here, and then next. So the longer the chain, the more mercy to collect. Instead of just one, I have a whole chain of servant of the servant of the servant, and you collect a little from each one of them, and it adds up. So Indra offered his obeisances, then he went back. So like that. Now, of course, many of you from India, I think you in Nepal, you grew up reading Amachitra, isn't it? Amachitra, the comic book. Isn't it called Amachitra? Huh? Yeah. All the kids that grew up with that, of all the different devas and Krishna Leela and so on. You probably have read all this. But some of us, we're not. We get to hear of this because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And we'll be celebrating the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada on Saturday. It's a milestone. One may ask, why are you celebrating disappearance instead of birthday, the deaths? Because a Vaishnava never die. Even though he may be gone, he's still living in sound, in his teachings. He live forever. Prabhupada has left 48 years ago, but his teaching is still going on. The ISKCON that is other is still going on. That is his legacy that he left behind. And all these stories we hear about Govardhan, all this knowledge is because of his mercy, because of his books that he painstakingly translate and comment on every night when everyone is sleeping. You sleep for 2 hours, 3 hours, wake up, and you start translating. Wherever he is in the world, there's no jet lag for him. He followed the same routine anywhere in the world. Like I come to Europe, no problem, no jet lag. But when I go back to Malaysia, it takes me 3 weeks to a month to adjust back to the time. The other way is hard. Because I don't come for 1-2 weeks, I come for maybe longer, and my body got adjusted to the time here. So it takes a lot longer time to adjust the other way. You have that problem when you go to India? Long. Are you young? Yeah, they're adjusting. But as you get older, I just find it harder and harder to adjust to the time when they go the other end. So that's all Prabhupada's mercy. And just the other day, when we talk about Prabhupada, we hear the name Prabhupada, we read his books, we visit his temple, but do we really, really know who Prabhupada is? How special he is? I don't think that the world has fully grasped the idea of who Prabhupada really is. They only talk about how he's the founder of the Hare Krishna movement. But beyond that, many years ago, when we had this, when we were celebrating the 100th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada, the Lokanath Maharaj, he started the Padayatra. Padayatra means walking. With a bullock cart, drawn by 2 bulls, bullock cart, and with an altar on it, of Gonitai altar. And devotees are just walking every day. They're walking from village to village in all over India. So, and there was this devotee, Atmatadva, Prabhupada disciple, was traveling, and they came to Rishikesh. And in Rishikesh, Atmatadva Prabhu, he saw this yogi living in a small cave. So he approached him and started talking to this yogi and asked him, what are you doing? And this yogi said, I have studied I think it's called Samishta Shastra. It's a scripture where they study facial recognition. It's a form of astrology. Just by looking at the face of the person, his body features, they can tell you what your previous life is. They say, I've completed the study of this. So Atmatadva Prabhu thought, okay, let's find out who is Prabhupada. And he gave him a picture of Prabhupada from the back of Bhakti magazine. So this yogi was looking at the picture of Prabhupada, and he thought he did some measurement. Very focused. He did some measurement of Prabhupada. Then he looked up, like, do you know who he is? And Namma thought, yeah, he's my guru. But do you really know who he is? Yeah, he's the founder, child of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, my spiritual master. No, you don't really know who he is. And then he went on to say, there are 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas. Brahma Sampradaya, Then you have the Lakshmi Sampradaya, Shiva Sampradaya, and the Kumara Sampradaya. These are the 4 Sampradaya, and the teachings, they are the bona fide teachings, Krishna conscious preaching that come down through the ages. And in our present time means even few hundred years ago, the Brahma Sampradaya represented by Madhvacharya. And we are from that line. Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. We come from that line of Brahma. Then you have the Shiva Sampradaya, who is represented by Vishnu Swami. And Sri Sampradaya is Ramanujacharya. They're very strong in South India. They're still very strong. And our Sharada Maji is engaged to a devotee from the Sri Sampradaya. And then you have the Kumara Sampradaya, which is a Nimbakacharya. So these are the 4 Sampradaya Acharyas who represent each of their schools of knowledge. And this yogi said that your guru, he is the incarnation of all the 4 Sampradayas and all the 4 Sampradaya Acharyas. Now, when you think about it, it does make sense. Because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, he asked everyone, Krishna told everyone to appear with him or before him, to assist in the pastime. And then he also said that, and later I will also send my Senapati Bhakta, my commander-in-chief devotee, to spread this Krishna conscious movement to every town and village. If we look at the history of the spreading of Krishna consciousness, who else but Prabhupada ISKCON movement has spread the chanting of the holy name to every town and village? Even in remote places, the name of Krishna is being chanted. And it's also stated that in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a movement has united all the 4 Sampradayas into one Sampradaya. And that 4 Sampradaya united in one is under the leadership of Prabhupada, which is also can be considered Sampradaya Acharya. Because Prabhupada is not just an ordinary Acharya. He is a Sampradaya Acharya. He is a head of a very strong branch of the Chaitanya tree, which represent all the 4 Sampradaya. Because the philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Achincha Beda Beda Tattva. The other Sampradaya, they may stress the difference between the Jiva, the living entity, and Krishna, and the Supreme. And another Sampradaya may be stressing the sameness. We are one in quality with God. And others say we are different from God. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy is Achincha Beda Beda Tattva, which means we are simultaneously one and different. We are one in quality with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but we are different in quantity. And Srila Prabhupada gave the example like in the ocean of water. In the ocean, in the sea, you take a drop of water or you take a bucket of water, it's a salty. Whether it's one drop or it's one bucket, it's salty. But the drop of water is not a bucket of water. So a drop has the same quality. But you cannot say that the drop of water is the ocean. It's not the whole ocean. So that's why all this deviant philosophy goes wrong. Just because they have same quality, then they claim, I'm God, you are God. We are all God. You just haven't realized it. If you haven't realized it, that means you're an illusion. And how can God be an illusion? If you are not God now, how can you be God later? Either you're God now or you're not. Right? If you have to perform some austerity or you have to perform some penance to become God, that means you are not God to begin with. So Krishna, even when he appears as a child, he he demonstrated the power of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He demonstrated the opulences of the Supreme Lord. The 6 opulences. This as unlimited. He is unlimitedly beautiful and attractive. He is unlimited wealth, unlimited strength, unlimited knowledge. He has unlimited fame and unlimited renunciation. So Krishna, even as a child, he demonstrated all these qualities unlimitedly. So it was never a time, you never find in the scripture that Krishna became God. He was born ignorant. Even when he was a baby, he was killing demons. He killed Putana, the witch, who has come sent by Kamsa to kill him by smearing her breast with poison. So Krishna, because she approached Krishna as a mother, offering her breast milk, Krishna accepted. He drank the milk, he drank the poisons, and he sucked out her life air. And even though her intentions were bad to kill Krishna, but because she offered some service of breast milk to Krishna, Krishna accepted her as a mother. And he was liberated as a mother. As one of his mother. So that's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because of Prabhupada, we get to hear all these stories. So I urge everyone to read. Please read Prabhupada's books. Educate yourself in this wonderful knowledge. So by knowledge, we know how to act. Without knowledge, we will remain in ignorance. And ignorance means we will become subjected to the 3 modes of material nature, being slapped here and there. No control of our life. There are so many books here. We have books in English, we have books in Danish, and we may even have some books in Hindi. Do we? And we have books in Chinese. No, you don't need Chinese books. You don't need that. So we have no excuse. And devotees in the Bhakti Vedanta Book Trust are working hard to get all these books translated into all the different languages. So if you don't have book, then pick up a book, a Bhagavad Gita, or other books. And you finish Bhagavad Gita, then get a full set of Srimad Bhagavatam. And gradually read through it every day. If you read half an hour a day, 1 hour a day, before you know it, you have read all the books. So in this way, educate yourself. You want to know Prabhupada? You want to get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada? Read his books. Not just offering flowers is nice. Bowing down is nice. The show of respect. But you really want to get the special mercy of Prabhupada, then you have to have his book, you have to read his books. Otherwise, you'll be missing out. Otherwise, we are shortchanging ourselves. We come here, some of you are regular. You come here regularly. And you come here, you're not taking Prabhupada's books home or you're not reading Prabhupada's books. You're missing the dessert. You're in the Sunday feast, you're only eating the rice and the puri. You're missing all the sabjis, the chutney. You're missing all the dessert, the halwa, the kheer. You're missing all that. So take the book and take the full meal. Agree? Who don't have Prabhupada books at home? You don't have? Of course you have. Who don't have? You all have? You have? You don't have? Okay. I want you to take a Bhagavad Gita home today. Okay? Okay. Anyone else? Huh? You want? You already have? Okay. Are you reading? They are not for decoration. Yeah, although these books are worshipable, they are not different from Krishna. You can make offering to the books, but to fully benefit from it, you have to read. So are you going to make a commitment today? That every day you read at least one slok and the purport. Okay? Don't take long. One slok, translation, and purport. Minimum. Every day. You don't eat, you don't go to sleep until you do it. Okay? All right. Anyone else want to make a commitment? Commitment is good because it gives us the strength to move forward. Otherwise, it says stagnant. We sit in our comfort zone. I'm comfortable. I don't have to do anything. But when you come here and you meet Chiranjiva, then you have to make commitment. I don't allow people to be in the comfort zone. Because comfort zone means stagnancy. And stagnant means just become rotten. Things get rotten. Anyone else? Krishna, you have Prabhupada's books? Are you kidding me? You have to take a Gita. What's wrong with you? I know, but what's wrong? The brother don't have Prabhupada's books. Huh? You have? If you don't have, you take a Bhagavad Gita home today. And you promise me you read at least one slok every day? What? You're not going to promise me. One slok. How long does it take? How long does it take to read one slok? Ken? When I'm doing this for you, I'm doing you a favor. Because I care about you. You've not been coming since your child, from your father's time. One slok. And I put the responsibility on you. Every night you call him. Have you read the one slok? Okay? Wait. Finish this first. Don't try to escape. No, don't try to escape. Call him. Make sure he read the one slok. Okay. Yeah, no, sister. When I come, I'll ask her next time. Then I won't be so friendly.